Thank you everyone for joining our presentation today. As we all know, Welltech is merging with Samsung Medison. Those who aren't aware, Samsung is a South Korean company. Got quite a lot on our agenda today, so let's get to it. We're going to first look at the cultural differences and how that's going to affect business. There's a couple of major differences, Confucian values and Gaibun. And we're going to see how that manifests itself in written and spoken communication, as well as meetings and decision makings. And then lastly, I have some fun recommendations and some resources for everybody. So the reason culture can affect business is not just simple to success and respect, but it's a matter of failure. We will fail if we do not understand these differences. Some classic examples are Home Depot when they went to China and Subway when they went to Germany. Not understanding the market research led to catastrophic results. So for Korea, we have a couple major things. It's called Confucian values. This is respect for authority, harmony, collectivity, working hard, and modesty. And Kowloon, which is known as saving face. That's not much different than reputation here in the United States. And you're going to find that a lot of people creatively say no in order to save face. In terms of the written and spoken communications, it's actually a very visual language and society. It's known as Hangul, character based, and they actually prefer graphics over text. They're also very big into business cards. And if you get a business card, make sure you study it up to 30 seconds because they spend a lot of time on card weight, fonts, all that stuff. And this lack of text manifests itself in contracts as being more flexible and not a final state of business because not every detail is going to be written out. When you introduce yourself, you're going to want to say hello or a classic nice to meet you, 안녕하세요, or 반갑습니다. Always state your name. And then there's actually a paradigm shift happening right now between modern and traditional companies. It depends on the company. You're always going to want to, at a minimum, address someone with their surname plus title plus NIM. So a common example could be Kim Director NIM. But make sure you communicate with your co-hosts. As for other things, make sure when you introduce, you take a small bow. Don't go too deep. It has more to do with seniority. And then make sure to grasp both hands because we are new. Gifts may be exchanged, but they won't be open in front of you. And tea will be the refreshment of choice. Remember to stay modest and humble. Don't dominate in conversations. And like we talked about, creatively say no. As for our meetings, we're going to want to make sure we plan in advance. There's a couple key windows, 10 to 12, 2 to 4. We're always going to need to be punctual, but top executives may not. And a classic tip is if they reschedule late multiple times, that could be a clue for us. Just like America, most meetings aren't solved at the actual business meeting, it's in dinner afterwards. So dinner drinks is a common function. If you do have any restrictions, just communicate to them. Decision making is going to be much slower because there is a very formal hierarchy, and all senior leadership has to make those decisions. As for us, what we can do to get a jump on things, take a look at our business cards, make sure they're all up to snuff. We could also take a fun field trip. We have a couple options. There's Star Korean Barbecue here in town on the south side, or up on the north side, we can go to Wusung Oriental Food Market. And for the more traditional learners, a 90-day Korean class is probably the best option for us. And then any reports we want to build out, we should probably start those now because it will take time for translations. Naturally, I've gathered some resources for our citations here. And if you have any questions, I naturally don't hesitate to reach out. And I'm very excited for our trip to South Korea.